the best around. Nothing's gonna ever keep you down.
Good morning, Santa Barbara Teen Sports listeners. I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teens. Please tune in every single Tuesday. This is a whole hour of Santa Barbara teen athletes and all those people and businesses that support those teen athletes. Dee, I gotta say, I just love that new commercial that you did for Laura's parents' restaurant in Bologna.
Yeah.
I love it.
Hi, Erica.
It's going to be a while before I get that appetizer, but could they pack it in dry ice and ship it?
Why not next
I mean,
year?
if you want crap.
Next year, right?
Yeah.
2018, you're going to be graduating. I told your mom, I emailed her, and I said, we're going to be doing the coin flip. Because I'm saying I put it out to the universe. It's either going to be Columbia or Georgetown. All right? I'm putting it out there big. I told you, college coach, too. You think Georgetown? No, I know. Is it? Oh, yeah, Terri Cooper, tutor, counselors, and now get on the mic.
Okay.
You feeling it, Georgetown?
I can't get on the mic. I've only met it once.
Get out of here. You feeling
No,
it?
yes, it's Georgetown.
Oh, I'll get the chills.
And you're going to meet the man of your dreams there as well.
Oh, I'm going to cry. Look at her. She's blushing. She's red.
What a great morning.
Oh, my
No,
God.
actually, you're going to ASU. Sorry, the party
Not
school
even
of the
a thing.
Southwest.
Was it heads and tails? Because I want to, I don't know, I could say something like profound, drinks for the house or something. Heads or tails when we flip. I need to know that now.
What are you talking about?
I figured if we're in Bologna and went out of Mother's restaurant, La Brazier, right?
La Braccia.
La Braccia, whatever, I can't say. Okay, then if I said heads or tails, do you know if it's going to be heads or tails?
I don't think they serve heads or tails in an Italian restaurant. I think you have to go to a Chinese restaurant for that. Oh, that's I Ching coins.
You're bad today. Look at you. Terri Cooper, I love it.
You're quick.
It's very quick. Hey, so Dominique, you're expanding. Well, now I'm talking to you. You're expanding your practice. Dominique, get on. You had the whole, I don't even know what you call it. You had your own little thing.
Actually, I call it full spectrum healing.
Okay.
A mind, body, spirit immersion.
Okay, and I got to say, because you had it done,
Yes.
okay? 2 weeks, and then something profound happened of what she was seeing, and it actually came true. You want to say?
Can I share it a little bit, Terry?
If Erica will let you.
I say okay. I second it. Okay, I second it. All right.
So
it was wild.
So we promote with teens and everyone healthy living, and that includes making use of all the wonderful healers we have in town. And Terri Cooper is one of our wonderful healers in town. So what she did for me was an integrative approach of just checking out the different energy centers in my body and helping me strengthen my intuition about what my body needs for my health, not only physically, but mentally and emotionally as well. And interestingly enough, one of the things that she saw for me was that I would soon be cooking for a lot of people. That was one of the comments that came to her when she was working for me and doing a reading. And lo and behold, this past weekend, I think we cooked for a total of 95 people in 2 days. So yes, that came true.
Well, thank you for sharing, and I hope that was a good experience for you.
It was.
Okay, well,
It
what
was
really
beautiful.
happened, though, okay, so you know, we knew that this was, I was
Thank you,
actually, you like
Dominique.
my hair, right?
I love your
There,
hair.
good. All right, well-
Your host looks so breathtaking.
Oh, thank you. Okay.
Beautiful today.
Okay, well, thank you. Thank you, Audrey, who did my hair. Okay, fantastic. Sam's, why pay more?
Are
Okay?
you serious?
Yes, she's awesome. She taught.
Fantastic,
Yes,
Sam.
she's a teacher. I know her 30
That
years.
is the 1% we've been talking
That's what I'm talking about. Why not? You got to go find the best. Okay, Audrey, fantastic. I
She
know her
doesn't even
30
know what I'm talking
I know.
about. does she?
I do. Well, Ancestry.com. Yeah, that's who I am. That's all about me.
So
right.
proud of
Does
you.
she do any buffing?
No, there you go.
Shining?
Well, I know her. I go back 30 years. We played softball together. All right, let's go back. Fast forward now. We're back in reality. So I was getting my hair done, and my friend who walked in who needed help because she was breathing into a brown bag, and I'm like, so most people don't know.
Was that before or after the haircut?
That was good. She was breathing in a brown bag, and I went, what's the problem? And anyway, she needed my help. So somehow we went from pasta salad to doing the whole wedding. And that's fine because I actually used to cater in the 80s, and 80 people really Yeah. Actually, 80 turned into 95. So it wasn't really that big of a deal. We did it. And I couldn't have done it without Dominique. So thank you. And it was but the house was immaculate because the boys had left. We host, to China.
Our students
so
had
the
left to
house
China.
was beautiful because I really knocked it out of the park on Thursday. And then by Sunday, it was trashed. Okay, that's okay because, we did all the cooking at the house and it went off without a beat. I only failed 2 things, like the dressing.
Well, they weren't total fails.
No, I tried the first mock-up of the dressing.
The dressing's in the garden.
I don't do any recipes. Okay, so the dressing wasn't that hot. And then we tried
And the chickens enjoyed the pasta.
Yes. Outside of that, everything was perfect. So, Terri, I don't know how you did it, but yes. But when she said we're going to be cooking for a lot of people, I'm what?
In the scheme of things, in the working together for the hour, that was just a little piece of information that came up in her energy field. What I think was more significant, frankly, for me, just in my own experience of working with people, was how much medical history we got, how many things were in your energy field. Yeah. I don't think I've gotten that much information that accurately on other people. So it's an exciting new way to work because information is flowing in that hasn't flowed in for a long time in just sitting on the couch and doing therapy.
So it was like Terri was reading my DNA chart.
Yeah.
So should I call Lori Cortez, College Coaching Services, and say you're a shoo-in for, or no?
Of course, yeah, sure.
Yeah. I should send to the show. I'm going to say no pressure.
No, not at all.
Okay, no.
I just lost something completely, didn't I?
That's her college coach.
Oh.
Yeah, to help her get into college.
Georgetown.
How did we go from
Georgetown?
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
See,
what's your contact information?
My syntactical information is not there. What's my contact information?
Just saying.
Well, if people want to have that kind of experience with me, they can reach me at area code 805. Do you have your pencil ready, folks? 682-3025. And for a very limited time, I'm going to be doing this strictly as a donation while I get up to absolute perfect speed on it. So take advantage of that, folks.
Say Teen Sports Radio.
And, of course, that if you come and mention Teen Sports Radio, Erica will buy you dinner.
That was a good one. And Dr. D.
Hey, that's karma.
That's cool. Thank you. Wow.
Yes, I'm trying to reach Dr. Energy. I'd like to order that thing she was talking about on that radio show I heard on that radio station.
Is that with or without pepperoni?
I'd prefer gravy.
Okay, you got it.
Terri Cooper.
Thank you. Thank you for the time. Thank you. Perfect.
All right. Oh, never. Look who's there. Staying, just sliding on in, Brian.
Slippery.
Oh, put your hands
Hello.
together.
Good morning. Good morning.
We just love you.
Well, thank you.
And thank you so much for all the donations of let the showering begin, as they say.
Hey, my pleasure.
The mentorships, that we have offered the teens in this community have so been appreciated. I got to say, the emails and the thank yous, and especially the parents that have come up to me, especially what you have done in the community and what Dr. Tiffany has done. I mean, how many kids get to shadow an acupuncturist? How many kids get to shadow a veterinarian? I mean, we're very blessed. So I always thank you every time you come out.
Absolutely.
And that's
more than happy.
There's no school of acupuncture in Santa Barbara anymore.
Nope.
So if somebody wanted to become an acupuncturist and they're in Santa Barbara, they don't get the experience unless, somebody like yourself, is so gracious enough to be able to show them. How would you know if I want to be an acupuncturist? YouTube it? You don't get that feel touchy,
Yeah, you got to experience it. You got to see it. You got to feel it. And so, happy to share.
What was your road? How did you get there?
There was a school in Santa Barbara, like you mentioned, for over 20 years. And so I had a few neighbors and friends of the family who had gone to the school in Santa Barbara, and they're finishing up. And when they heard that I was interested in going into the medical field but hadn't decided which path, they encouraged me to explore the school. And so one person gave me a book, another person told me to go talk with the admissions director. So I went and visited the school. And it was just within a 20-minute conversation that I learned about the medicine, and got a smack on the face, and my hair blew back as if the wind came to get me. And I was like, "Yep, that's what I'm looking for." Because I'd searched around a lot. I was looking in many different paths within the medical field, but that it caught me, or rather, I think that it pulled me into it. So I say Chinese medicine rather than acupuncture, because acupuncture is just one tool. It's really the Chinese medicine. So it's a very old history and tradition coming from the Orient.
And you have a couple of classes coming up I'm going to be taking. Would
yes,
you like
I
to
do.
mention
Actually, I have
those?
3. In the fall at Adult Ed, the CLL, the Community Center of Lifelong Learning in Santa Barbara, I'm going to be doing a class on tongue diagnosis, looking at the markings of the tongue as a way to assess your body's health. And then I'm doing a class on a Chinese first aid kit, how to develop a simple box full of remedies to have on hand that are from the herbal department. And then I'm doing a class on the 5 elements, which is both a theoretical and practical way of looking at your body in relation to the cosmos. So that's 3 different classes within Chinese medicine, and then of course an essential oils class, which I've done a few times already.
And how would people who are interested in taking those classes get to see more details about them and how to register?
If you just go online at the CLL, the Community Center of Lifelong Learning, it has a full list of classes, of which you're also teaching there. So you have many different types of classes, and you can just search by, I think it's under the body, mind, spirit, or health section in the catalog.
And the email to go on, or the URL to go on, is www.sbcc.edu/CLL.
Wow, that's very specific. Very good. I'm impressed. Yeah, there's a lot of great classes.
I've been telling people that.
There's a lot of great classes.
25
Yeah,
years.
community adult ed, basically an extension of City College.
So when we say it's adult ed, are teens allowed to go, or what's the age limit?
It depends on the class. Some are 18 and over, but most of the classes are open to any age. So just, no, that's not the case. It's 18 and older? Ah, okay. My mistake.
Well, I mean, there are classes that are for babies and classes and moms, and there are classes that are for kids. But most of the classes are adult-oriented. But I think if a 16-year-old wanted to come, nobody would turn them away.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You actually practiced or studied in China?
I was there for about a month, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what did you learn when you were over there?
Mostly the cultural, the details of the medicine I learned throughout 4 years of school, but it was being in China and seeing the culture from which the medicine originated from. I understood how the needling technique developed from a culture that is dealing with a high population. Their way of looking at culture and society influences their medicine. So more from the cultural standpoint, I understood more of the way it's practiced more in the modern times, because it goes back 5,000 years. But it was less of the theoretical and clinical aspects, but more of the cultural that impressed upon me. For example, the thickness and length of the needles that were being used, the experimentation with herbs. For example, they were doing herbal IV drip bags in stroke hospitals, something that we can't do here. So certain areas very progressive in their thinking. How do we inject somebody with an herbal formula to treat stroke? That's an example I saw there. A whole clinic of pediatric massage, just example. Imagine a whole hospital of just babies getting massaged for different problems. They have that in China. So seeing the context in which the medicine has arisen from was probably the more important piece for me.
Can I go back for just a second to the strokes?
Yeah.
And do they have any statistical outcomes that you can look at to see how effective that
I'm sure they do now. There's all kinds of studies that have happened probably just in the last 15 years as the world wants to support Chinese medicine, but based on the assumption that we need empirical evidence and observation through double-blind studies, which is just only one way of learning. However, the Chinese never used to do double-blind studies, for it's unethical in a lot of ways. But in the last 15 years, a lot of studies have come out just so the legitimacy of the medicine has been pushed forward. It doesn't mean those studies are necessarily accurate representative, as is the case with all studies. However, it is interesting to look at those just from the standpoint of the kind of thing that they're attempting to research. So there's plenty of information now available from everything from headaches to cancer and in different forms
so
of the
interesting
medicine.
and so valuable to know about. I hope at some point you'll come back on the show and talk more about that.
Always happy to do so. Yes,
Nice. Brian, what's your
rich.
contact information?
805-223-0915.
Fantastic. Brian Falk. All right. We've got a whole section. We have part 2. Laura, who'd you bring back?
So I brought back Maya Portier and Lorenzo Marchetti, and I added Tazmin Uribe for 2020, A Year Without War.
Good. We're going to get to all of that, but first we have some great new commercials. This is Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. We'll be back with a lot more after these messages. We are back, and this is the Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I'm your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
Every single Tuesday
at 9 a.m. Dominique, where else can you find us?
Oh, let's see. Facebook,
Yes.
Twitter, Instagram, YouTube.
Yes.
And my favorite, AM 1290, Teen Sports
right.
Radio.
We love it.
www.teensportsradio.com.
All day. Hey, we've got to put our hands together. To Levy's, Bobby, we love you. I don't think a week goes by where we don't get a phone call. We just love them. We love all of our supporters.
They say, Erica, come pick up some money.
That's it. I mean, it's really nice. It's on autoplay now. Auto. And Dr. D.
Autoplay?
Yeah, autoplay, auto rap. Just auto. Just call me. Just call me. Thank you so much.
By the way, even though this is already halfway through June, today is the 13th of June, I would be remiss if I didn't remind our listeners specifically about the Sunday afternoon broadcast. We are in the midst, as we have talked many times with Mr. Pintard of the Santa Barbara Foresters, going for championship number 7 this season.
Yes.
There may be some Sundays where the Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio program might get moved to 9 a.m. on Sunday.
Right.
Okay? Because these are afternoon games.
Right.
Okay? And we'll make sure that Mr. Martini makes reference to that on Saturdays to let people know as well.
Right.
But just to let our listeners know, and we'll remind them as we do these programs.
Right.
Hey, Sundays, normally it's 3 o'clock,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
But if there's a ball game, it's going to be at 9 a.m. Sunday morning.
Right.
So,
So because we just love the show, we just love the people. Hey,
Yeah.
we're on the move.
and
we
if you can't
we
get,
like moving around.
yeah,
Yes.
9 a.m. Tuesday.
Yes.
And then what is it? 11 p.m. Tuesday.
Yes.
And then normally 3 p.m. on Sunday.
That's Terri Cooper's favorite one.
Yeah. No. That's the 3
it's 3 in the
a.m. on
morning.
Monday morning.
Oh, she likes them all.
I like them all.
She doesn't care.
But the 3 o'clock in the morning one comes with a piece of pie.
That's it. See? We don't even care. We're just so blessed to be on the show because we are the community service hour.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And when we did this, I keep thanking you because the idea was, hey, since this is community service, let's do something with it and let's generate, I don't know, hey, what a great idea. Let's see if anybody wants these commercials and let's see if they want to donate some money to their favorite nonprofit.
Yeah.
Then we called up their favorite nonprofit and say, hey, let's start up a website and let's just see if we can get somebody to build these websites. And then our favorite guy, Robert Burrows at Group of Fencinels, he'll say, hey, I'll build you a website.
Yeah.
And this thing organically has grown to 1 million hits a year.
Yeah.
And in the last 2 years, we raised over $1 million. So what can you say?
All right.
Okay,
All right.
and direct giving.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
just again, AM 1290, News Press Ready. We are for profit, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, but we connect. Okay,
Yeah.
we've connected a lot. And how many checks have you and I seen just
geez.
pass?
There's a pile of them.
I mean, we've just seen monies just rip out, right? Laura, you've seen it. Like people just rip out checks.
Oh,
and just,
she was carrying a check in her pocket that nearly caused her to give her a heart attack.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
What was it, a
No,
$20,000 check?
Yeah, Erica just goes like, "Oh, can you hold this for me?" And I look at it, and it's like a $25,000 check, and I was like, "I don't think I want to hold this for you." I was like, "No."
Hey, it was passed to me, and I don't know what to say. I almost cried, and I said, "Laura, hold this for me," and she's like, I don't know. It was just people just it's love, okay?
Yeah, absolutely,
so when you're just doing things, and
Or
everybody,
death if you lose it.
yeah,
One of the two.
So, Laura, where's that check? It's just nice because it's a direct donation right to the named, not to, has nothing to do with us. We're just passing it along.
Exactly.
So, and when people like Brian Falk and Terri Cooper and everybody just buys into it and it's donation, it just shows what we're doing.
The beautiful thing about that is you don't need an accountant.
That's right. No,
You
that's
don't
right.
need an accountant.
I love it.
You know?
All you need to do is express your need, and we hook you up with someone who has a need to give.
There you go.
It just comes.
I would like a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, Montecito or Hope Ranch home.
Okay. That's it. There you go. So anyway, thank you.
Yeah.
I really
Absolutely.
appreciate you. I mean, you give up your lunches. You've come in on Saturday, and I really appreciate you very much.
I'm glad that we're able to do it. I
love you.
That we are. We'll love you too.
I really mean that.
All right.
All right, good. That's enough.
Okay. Moving right along.
Let's get moving. All right. What are we doing? Who's here?
Well, we should.
I get all confused.
Let's take a really quick break and come back and dive into.
All right, let's do it.
Whatever it is that we're going to dive into.
2020.
2020.
All right.
All right, let's do it.
All right.
This is Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. We'll be back with a lot more after these messages. We are back, and this is the Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in every single Tuesday at 9 a.m. Dominique, quick little story before we get really started.
Before we get into our kids that are here, okay, really fast. This story has to do with, some people say seeing is believing, and other people say believing is seeing. Well, there's a kid down the street. He had a baseball bat, and one day he couldn't find it. And he knew a couple friends down the street, and he was absolutely positive this one guy down the street, he looked like a thief, he walked like a thief, he talked like a thief. And this young man was absolutely positive that this other boy had stolen his baseball bat. Well, 2 hours later, he found his baseball bat. And when he saw the fellow down the street again, the fellow was just like any other boy. So the point of this story is that we bring what we believe to everything that we see in our life. We bring what we believe. So we're looking through a perceptive lens, a filter of what we believe, and that's how we see. And I remember when I was studying history when I was in 4th grade, and I found out that the Native American Indians, when the Spanish first came over in their ships, they didn't see the ships out on the ocean. They didn't see them out on the water because they had no knowledge of what ships look like. So they literally didn't see them. So what I take with this story when I share it with people, it's please consider what your beliefs are. If you're seeing something negative in another person, do a double check and see if you have a preconception about that person that's causing you to see them in a negative light. And see if you can shift.
That's called prejudice, prejudgment.
There we go.
Right, and that's where it comes from, is taking a look at somebody and having an idea who they are without really knowing.
And it could be the opposite direction, idolizing somebody and seeing somebody in a excessively positive light in the same respect. It's that's the shadow aspect that everyone carries with them, and usually our lover, our parents, or some figure that we admire or look up to, for the same reason. It could be anybody. Even ourselves, and to recognize that we're very complicated. We have lots of parts to ourselves, and there's always something in the shadows. So
that's why I love when Dr. Brian Falk is in the house. Because I never even thought of it like that. I just love when you get deep, Brian. When you get
Dr.
come
Brian,
on now, Dr. Brian, you go deep.
It's
sometimes.
early in the morning.
That.
I'm still in the dream time.
Yeah.
We come
Do you have
out
your
of
PhD yet? In addition to the other,
so close.
Another
chapter left.
Really?
Another chapter.
So exciting.
So close.
Doctor.
That's 2 doctors.
Something like that.
You missed it by that much.
I know. Gosh.
Very cool story. Thank
That
you.
was very good. Thank you. That was
Yes,
nice.
that's
Yeah.
it. D2.
D2.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Dominique.
Yes,
I like
thank
it.
you.
Good job, D.
All right. So where are we heading now?
All right, Laura.
So, for those out there who do not know what 2020 is, 2020, A Year Without War, is an organization, nonprofit organization, that is aiming to get the UN to extend the 1-month truce that is established every time there's Olympics game from just that 1 month to an entire year. And it's more about sending a message that a truce is possible. And it is possible because we already do it for a month. So we're not talking about unrealistic goals. And here with me are some of the people that are working for 2020 and putting time and effort into it. And we're going to start with Lorenzo. What have you done so far with social media? What were your contributions to 2020 and your experience in general?
Before diving into it, we have been talking here about seeing and perceptions. And I would like to say, if you need to believe in something now, just believe in 2020, A Year Without War. It's not just for us, it's for everyone. This is against skepticism, and I had to face so much skepticism so far of people telling me this is not good enough, you should change that, you should implement this. Let me say this, let's start. Give us your trust, and I will show you with these people that we can do it. We need people to believe, because we are those ships. We are coming to the ground. The people need just to see us. Trust me. When I start working it and I said I will be at the UN, no one believed me. No one. Too young. You are foreign. And I could. Yeah, it's crazy, but yes, that's what they told me. And then what happened? Last September I was at the UN, and I had 3 minutes to explain what we are and what we do. But now it's time to have the ball rolling, and we need all the help possible. So, for you people out there, 2020 without war, just type it in your computer. Look for us. We need your help.
Can I ask you a quick question?
Sure.
So apparently the UN has been successful in getting all the countries in the world to agree to a month of a truce. Can you talk about that in the past?
Basically, since Atlanta 1996, this is a practice that the UN decided to take on. It was proposed in the General Assembly, and the Security Council, they gave the green light for it. And now it's happening every 2 years. Now, it's a formal agreement. It's exactly what we are looking for, because it's a diplomatic agreement. Because what we believe is that if we can find a way to have all the leaders of the world sitting at the table saying, let's do this formal agreement for 1 year, then it will be out for the people to say, let's respect it. Because you can call out a leader if he doesn't maintain what he said. You can't do it. It's not easy, but you can do it. And that's what we want. We want to give the people the possibility of saying, hey, wait a minute. You said that this year there was no war for us. What's happening now?
Mm-hmm. Also I was saying it usually always happens for the Olympic Games. So that's how they started it.
Isn't that beautiful that we're using sports to help bring people together?
Yeah,
that's the meaning of sports, at least. Yeah. I was raised with sports, and that's what they told me, the spirit of competition.
Which is interesting, because sports seems to archetypally represent going to battle and going to war. If you look at the language of sports, it's playing out war through competitiveness, and that seems to be an interesting piece in that. Using sports to embody that without actually going and killing somebody, because that's what sports more or less represents and functions and serves in all cultures.
Yeah,
but I've seen box. I was in the team of a guy in Italy that used to box, and I've never seen that much respect in any other sport. They were friends, they were brothers at the end. After the fight, they were the same person. And so I believe the sport has a lot to teach.
Absolutely. Yes.
But this is Ryan from Fellowship of Christian Athletes. Love to hear that you're using the platform of sports to promote peace. What sporting event do you have coming up, and what are you planning?
Okay, I've been working with a person from the Monte Carlo, France, because I went last February to the World Summit of Nobel Peace Laureates, and the highest representative from Monte Carlo was sport, we would call administrator. And he said that for the next Youth Olympic Games, he would like to have as a sponsor. Now, what's the problem? We need follow-up. What do we need to follow up? We need donation. We are no profit organization. We do not make money if people do not support us. And even a project like that, we need the staff to put it in place. So now, because the work that has been done so far, the contacts are over there. We have been at the Vatican last year. We have been to the UN, the World Summit. We need now really the people who say, okay, you know what, we will invest you because what you're doing is for all of us. That's what we need.
Well, it's interesting. I believe in the news there's something about Bloomsburg jumping in and putting in $15 million in order to help support the global.
Change.
Exactly. Yeah. So there is a trend happening now where companies and people are stepping in, and instead of waiting for a government, they're stepping in with their own money and resources to support the things that need to be done.
Yeah. Also, Mark Zuckerberg, he donated $1 billion to Planned Parenthood and stuff like that. So
bless his heart.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's a lot of people right now who are taking action because they don't want to wait for a government to take action. But we obviously need the support of the government.
The trend could be good, but we need people to believe in this, because we need money for a lot of things, and our program can help every single thing you think about. Every single project can be carried out by 2020 Year Without War. That's the main thing. When I went to the UN, I proposed a 5% cut in military expense worldwide. That would give us the money to solve poverty, equal education for everyone, and hunger worldwide, with 5% 1 year. So that's the reason why I like 2020 Year Without War, because it's the first step to start something bigger. But we need people to say, we believe in you. We have done so much with so little. Now it's time to do much more with more.
Yep.
That's tremendous, buddy. That's awesome.
Yeah. Also, on the defense budget, the fact that we cut this money, it's not actually reducing it. It's not, because that's another thing that a lot of people have raised as an argument, that they do not want to reduce the military defense that the U.S. has, because of historical reasons, proud reasons, nationalism, like different reasons. But in this case, simply the fact that we do not need it would already be that cut. So we wouldn't actually lose any of our military. So that's to be made clear.
So I have a question for you, Lorenzo. 2020, a year without war, is a wonderful concept. And you say that you need money. Tell me what people can do to get not just their money, but their heads into what does that look like? How do you facilitate maybe teaching people how to be peaceful? Like, what is the program beside that singular agenda of extending a moratorium?
It's not just about telling people how to be peaceful. It's about teaching people how to not waste. Because right now we are in a concept of consumism in which we waste a lot. We could teach, with the money that we can get, we can start programs that teach about the world, what it means to live in a very highly global world like now. That's what is 2020. 2020 is just saying to you as a person, step up from your individuality and look around you. There are other people around you. Let's meet together and let's shoot for something that is for all of us.
Mm-hmm. And when it comes to involvement for like the little men, or not even little men, but like people that do not have the means to like donate $1 billion like Mark Zuckerberg, which is most of us, spread the word, like raise awareness. And that's what us especially have the means to do right now, and what we're putting a lot of effort into. And we have Maya, who along with Jazzy is responsible for Twitter. We have another awesome guy, Oben, who is responsible for Instagram. I'm working on LinkedIn and Facebook, and along with Lorenzo. So it's about spreading the world. And
spreading the word?
Word, sorry.
Okay. I just didn't know, because I know that it's like sort of act locally and think globally.
Yeah.
And I think that's what you're talking about, isn't it? That we do. Did you want to say something?
Well, we really want to create a global community. We want to show that everybody wants the same thing, which is support and love in the world. We don't want people to suffer. I don't think anybody wants anyone to suffer. And that's what we are saying, that 2020, we can make this a year without war. We can show that throughout that year that we can make great strides towards creating global peace, as well as
programs that help use Earth resources.
Exactly. Yeah. We don't want there to be suffering, and that's where there's a lot of right now.
And it's interesting. There's a Harvard study where they studied two group of men, and over 15 years, and they figured out it's relationships. We live for good relationships.
Let's close.
Good relationships.
Yeah. Hey, let's take a little break. It's what it is. It's all about love. Right? All right. Let's get some more of those great loving commercials that Dr. D spent all weekend making. All right. This is Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. We'll get you some contact information after the break. This is Erica Salda. Lots of love. Stay tuned for more after these messages. We are back, and this is the Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in every single Tuesday. Laura, how can we get a hold of you guys?
Just type in your computer 2020, a year without war. We will pop up as the first result. Go on the website. You will find our contact, where our office is. It's on State Street here in Santa Barbara, so it's really easy to find. You can email our representatives from the website. It's literally copy and paste, so you don't have to do anything. You just email it to them, and that's to get recognition from the government. And yeah, just follow us on the different social medias that we have. It's always 2020, a year without war. Check out the new trailer that we have. We made a video as a presentation of 2020 that we released 2 weeks ago. And yeah, just please spread the word.
Is that on his site?
Yeah.
Yes.
Lorenzo, you have 60 seconds to wow me. Okay.
The only thing I can say is we don't strive for money. We strive for love and to be relevant in this planet. If you want to be relevant today, believe in something that is bigger than yourself. And you can find that project in 2020 without war. Believe in something. Believe in those ships that we were talking about. Because we are coming. We will not stop, but we need your help. We need the help of everyone that is listening to this. Thank you so much for having me here. Thank you.
I love it. All right.
Thank you, Erica.
All right, two things. Dr. D, Teen Sports Radio, and you can thank Laura Arcadia right here, the co-host of Teen Sports Radio.
Thank you, Laura.
You don't even know what you're thanking her for.
For everything.
Okay, you're thanking her for a commercial?
Yes.
Okay, and you're thanking her for $500.
Aww.
Thank you, Laura.
Thank you.
All right. There you go. All right. In the house, who do we have? Reta Slay with the Challengers. And I would like to say, if anybody heard what I just said, they really do need some money. So if anybody would like to match Teen Sports Radio, they really, I mean, these kids are great kids. This is the second time that we've had them out. I wasn't a big fan, but I did the research. I actually, because you know I wasn't a big fan.
I know.
Okay? And then...
Concept, just at the time.
No, I had a problem with the war word.
Love the concept.
The concept was bam. Okay, thank you, Terri Cooper, for the for the course correction. Oh, I like that course correction. Can I steal that? Because I'm 1%. I'm in the same.
If I get invited to lunch.
Okay, you're going with this after the show. All right, I had the course correction. Laura came back not once but twice. She had to show me everything. I had to be educated. Hey, I own it. Okay, I brought Brian in the house. You know, I have Dr. D had to educate me. He had to hit me in the head. You know, Dominique had to show me. Hey, I'm all in now, and it's a good thing when I'm in. Okay, so I'm asking my friends and the family out there, and I got Reta Slay is with me too, and she knows a lot of peoples. Okay, and Reta, we that's it. Reta's in the house. She believes in it, and I believe in you, Reta. And Reta, I love you.
Erica, God put us together. I know
That's
He
right.
did. This is a great group. So, thank you so much for having me back, and
Yes.
I appreciate your interest and your support over the years.
And I love your commercial. I'm just telling you.
Thank you.
I heard it. It was awesome.
Okay. Well,
All right.
The
We got
Challengers.
Stuff. Yes, we got stuff. We got stuff going on. What do we got?
Oh, well, we were talking, I don't know, some time ago, you had me here and we were talking about all the great things were going on with Challenger Little League Baseball. And we have Challenger divisions, can be in any Little League anywhere in the world. And there are many of them. And so we are fortunate here on the Central Coast, in our own Santa Barbara County, to have programs in Montalvo Little League in Ventura, Carpinteria Valley Little League in Carpinteria, and Dos Pueblos Little League in Goleta, California. And our kids that live anywhere in District 63 can participate in a Challenger division that works for their day or time or location. So please just check us out online at info or gochallengers.org to find a location to get your child involved. And I'm really excited that Little League opened up took the barrier off. There is no cap on age to qualify or register for Challengers. So the children that have grown up since T-ball, going into their young adult years and even older, senior adult, we can have senior adult Challenger leagues. And Challenger teams are for any individual with an intellectual or physical disability. We have some kids out there that are straight A students, but they're in a body that just does not allow them to compete on a typical team. And we have children that are in wheelchairs or have some other intellectual type of or developmental disability where they could get hurt if they were playing on a regular with a regular ball team. So we adapt the sport to them. We've got great volunteer community coaches, and the Little League typical players come out to be our buddies every week. It's just a great camaraderie on the field.
That is so awesome. When you come and talk about your program, you frequently put our other guests to tears. I have a politically correct question to ask you. It's kind of how you describe someone who's physically or mentally challenged has sort of changed the words we use.
Yes.
What's the best way to address someone who's challenged? How do you say it?
I think the words will continue to change, but right now it's intellectual disability or challenged, unique.
So it's okay to say, I can see
an
your
extraordinary.
physical disability. Okay.
We have all kinds of words that we use, but I think I just talk about we say developmental or physical challenge or disability, but the buzzword is inclusive. We need to be included in our community where we live, work, and play, just like our brothers and sisters and neighbors. That's what we need to be included in our community.
Reta, what's your contact information?
It's info@gochallengers.org or 805-452-9039.
Laura, what's your contact information?
Mine? 2020ayearwithoutwar.com.
Lorenzo, you got 20 seconds.
Thank you again. And my contact information is lorenzo@ayww.org.
Brian, contact information. Dr. Brian, I'm sorry. D2.
Okay. Dr. Brian Falk at gmail.com.
Terri Cooper, contact information.
Terri Cooper at Verizon.net.
Ryan Warner
I got Ryan and Ryan.
at SantaBarbaraFCA.org. Come find us.
Terri Cooper, do you want to say anything else? Because you keep on ripping that mic off the boom.
It just falls in my hand. What can I tell you? It's drawn to me. I have a couple of friends who are blind, and they say they prefer to be called differently abled.
Ooh, I like that. Well, then I think that's what you call
Euphemisms have reached its highest peak, ladies and gentlemen.
Some people are sensitive and others aren't. I think it's just a matter of speaking with respect and just asking. One of the examples, we have volunteer trainings and orientation for our baseball program and many of our other programs. And we have volunteers there right out of high school all the way up. And we had some seniors, some people in their 70s and 80s that came to the ball field. One wanted to be a photographer. The other one was actually writing a book. She's an author and was writing a book and decided to include people with disabilities in the novel. So they asked me, these words came up, and we corrected them.
Richard Dugan, tell me what you got. You got stuff going on. You never promote yourself. I'm making you do it.
You will make me do it after the break.
All right, let's take a break. This is Erica Salda, the Queen of Team. We'll be back with more after these messages. We are back, and this is the Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday
at 9 a.m. All right, Ryan Warner, Fellowship of Christian Athletes, is in the house, and I always feel like I know, because of your job and everything, you always scoot in. Because I said, Ryan, you got to come in. So I want to give you the mic for like 2 minutes and just tell us who you are.
Ooh, who I am? Well, I'm a Virginian at heart, so I'm a foreigner as well out here in California. And I came out to Westmont because I was involved in Fellowship of Christian Athletes in high school in Virginia. I had an old guy come to our high school and kind of say, hey, we're doing an event this night at a friend's house. And I ended up going and heard his life story. He shared a verse. It was Psalm 63:3 that says, because God's love's better than life, my lips will praise him. And that verse kind of changed my perspective on faith. And so I knew I needed a base, and I ended up at Westmont College, probably because of alums like Erica that support the school. I played soccer and tennis at Westmont, and knew that faith and sports were something I wanted to give my life to. So I ended up as a pastor in town for 5 years at a local church, and my wife and I were on our way to Africa, actually, 5 years ago. We were heading out there on a trip, and all of a sudden I get hit by a truck and end up in the hospital for a month straight, and 6-month recovery of getting Humpty Dumpty fixed back together again. And at the end of that 6 months, I ended up meeting a couple that came out here to start FCA. And what they lined up as their passion and mission of doing it here, of using the platform of sports, is exactly what I wanted to do. And so we've been on high school campuses and college campuses for the past 4 years, and we've been seeing lives change. So that's what I'm doing out here, Erica.
Ryan Warner, I had to share that story. That's it. And it never gets old. And I needed to share that with Santa Barbara today. So, Santa Barbara, we love you. God bless you. We will see you next week.
You're the best around. Nothing's gonna